A happy hour party for Farmland, but we're doing the meeting.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't the one.
Exciting, but just kind of fun. My kids live there, it's not easy.
Where?
They had to see them a lot, but I knew it was coming.
Okay.
And they actually have them up here, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And they live on the one line, they live on, she lives, Caitlin lives on the Upper West Side and my son, he's down in Chelsea, so you'd think it
Oh,
is
okay.
really easy. But I don't see him that often until I saw them over the holiday.
That's great.
I heard an echo. So do they mute this mic here? This mic is muted on this laptop because I hear an echo. Do you hear that?
Are you on mute? Is your computer? So come here, let me check.
I gotta work on it.
What do you want to do with it? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, right.
That's interesting.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I'm wondering if it's this that they mute. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna wait until they start because I don't know why I hear an echo in that room.
All right, can everybody hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Let me just see why I can't see everybody. How do I press it?
Well, yeah, press. You. To gallery.
Okay. Greetings, everybody. Happy New Year. Welcome to the first Parks and Cultural Affairs Committee meeting of 2026. I'm elected.
Just to make sure you're not muted.
Our chair, Luana Farrar, was not able to be here this evening, so I will be chairing the committee. As a reminder, please wait till you are called upon to speak or present. There is a timing for programming updates. You have 2 minutes each for Friends of and Parks and Cultural Organizations. Also, Tracy, I know you told me why you were on Zoom, so I have that for the record. Crystal Woodley, I see that you are on here. I need to know why you are on Zoom for the record. Okay, I guess not. All right, we shall begin. I'm going to start with the people in the room, and that is with Hudson River Community Sailing, right? No, you guys.
Us?
Yes,
We're the rowers.
rowers, that's what I meant. I knew that.
Yeah, sorry, I just making a note or two about what I was gonna update. There's not a lot to update because it's winter. We've wrapped up our fall season. We have, started kind of planning for the spring, and it looks like it's gonna be a lot of expansion. We raised enough money to buy a second launch, which is the motorboat that the coach drives, which means we can have two separate groups of people out on the water at once, two coaches. So we actually had a big meeting on Sunday, and we sat down and tried to map out where we're expanding our programming. Where the biggest one was clearly novices, people who don't know how to row at all, and because we have a huge demand for learning to row. So we're planning a lot more of that, and gonna be buying a little bit more equipment aside from the launch, with this launch of the motor and the equipment for that. To our kind of astonishment, our total budget last year was about 5,000. We're looking at like 70,000 for this coming year. Just like, oh my God, are we growing too fast? And US Rowing has these, we get our insurance from US Rowing, we have to be a member of US Rowing organization. They have categories of organizations, rowing clubs. And we always thought of ourselves as this kind of scrappy little club because nobody rows very much and we only have 6 boats and so on. Last year, we had 299 people signed up because every rower has to be a member of US Rowing to be covered by the insurance. So we have 299. Their cutoff for the next category of size is 300, which saves us money in insurance. But we're probably about to move into the largest category they have for rowing clubs, like the huge, enormous rowing club, as opposed to what's in the rest of the country. So we're kind of going, holy shit. But that's kind of where we are. We'll be back on the water in April. We're looking at some winter training. Not terribly exciting, but that's where we are.
20th anniversary this year.
Yes.
Oh, congratulations, happy anniversary. I'm sorry.
You're not associated with the kayaking people, right?
We're a row.
I need to talk to you. That girls is insane.
Okay, I'm sorry, excuse me, ma'am, excuse me, miss, excuse me.
Yeah.
We have to, we raise our hands, we have,
I thought you called me.
no, I was speaking to them.
She's calling me.
My bad. I thought you called
Thank
me.
you. Okay, next we have Martin Collins from Northern Manhattan. I'm not getting anything. Thank you. Northern Manhattan Arts Alliance.
Very good, very good. Good evening, everyone. Happy New Year to you all here in the room and at home. We just wrapped up yesterday our latest Women in the Heights, the 17th annual Women in the Heights Call for Art. And we'll be getting the word out to the artists in the days and weeks ahead as to who'll be in the show. The 17th annual Women in the Heights will open on Tuesday, February 24th from 6 to 8 p.m. in the gallery space. It's in the ground floor of the United Palace between 175th, 176th Street and Broadway. It is free and open to the public Tuesday, February 24th, the opening, Women in the Heights from 6 to 8 p.m. Earlier this week, actually last week, we launched our 24th annual Uptown Art Stroll poster contest. I left cards for all the board members who are here this evening, and there's plenty of cards on the back table. Please help us spread the word in the community to West Harlem, Washington Heights, and inland artists by taking a couple of cards, putting them up in your building. You have a coffee shop you like to go to. Artists love those wonderful places. Put them up there as well. So we want something that is going to be an outstanding emblem for this, the 24th annual Uptown Art Stroll. And $2,000, not only the grand prize, but you also get the front cover of 5,000 printed guides, do the masthead for the website, you want a cover for all the posters, palm cards, the fans, which are underwritten by Evident Dentistry in Inwood. And so basically you are the trophy for the Uptown Art Stroll. In the 23 previous years, we've never had a repeat winner. So we'll see if we have that this year. So $2,000 for the grand prize winner, $1,000 for second, $500 for third. And the artist must reside or work in the West Harlem, Washington Heights, and Inwood community. Finally, the Uptown Art Stroll itself will open just a few blocks south of here on Monday, June 1st from 6 to 8:30 p.m. It'll be at both the Hispanic Society Museum and Library and at the American Academy of Arts and Letters with performances, whether permitting outdoors, indoors in the Superior Room, which is training by the National Jazz Museum in Harlem. Thank you.
Thank you. I do have to let people unmute themselves out maybe now. Sorry.
I think it is participants. Yeah, I can click on that. Yeah, there you go.
Then what do I do?
You gotta click the name.
Okay, so next we are going to hear from Catherine. You ready? Okay. Where are you? Come on, computer. I'm here. Thank God. Um,
Now am I unmuted?
Yeah.
All right, great. So thank you very much, Alexis. My name is Catherine Hughes. I'm the Executive Director of the Morris Jamel Mansion, which is currently closed to public visitors. So we want to let people know what is happening. The restoration has begun with a window abatement and then the roof replacement. But we also have programming on Saturdays. We are offering Uncovering Uptown History guided walking tours. And this coming a week from tomorrow, Wednesday night, our virtual parlor chat is one that we hope a lot of people will be interested in seeing. It is with Alexis Coe, who wrote a really great book on George Washington called You Never Forget Your First. So that is Wednesday, the 21st from 7 to 8. It's free and you can register on our website, www.morrisjamel.org. And I think that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Catherine. And here's to speedy construction.
Indeed.
Okay, thank you.
Alexis,
Yes.
what's the anticipated completion date?
The anticipated completion date for the roof?
For the roof and also the anticipated reopening.
Well, so the roof is the only reason we're closed. We will not have to close for the rest of the restoration. So we will be open in late spring after the roof is done. And then the rest of the restoration will continue.
Thanks.
Thank you, Catherine. Anybody else? Yes, Martin?
Just Natalie Espino is trying to get into the meeting, but the chat is disabled. She said, how do I get on the speakers list?
So I have her as a panelist and I will unmute when I call upon her.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Okay.
I think she just heard that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh.
Okay. Julie McCoy. Go ahead.
Hello, everyone. I'm Julie McCoy. I'm the Commodore of the Inwood Canoe Club. Hope you all hear me even in the cheap seats. As you can imagine, it's kind of a slow time of year for us since it's a bit cold for any kind of casual paddling. However, for public programs, we continue to have our monthly shoreline cleanups. Excuse me. And we had one on January 4th. We had 6 volunteers show up for an hour and a half and we picked up a bunch of trash. I don't have details on any particular treasures that we found this time, but we do have those going. We do have the schedule posted on our website, inwoodcanoenyc.org, and you can see when the next one is. Generally, they are the first Sunday of the month. That will change when we get into the summer, so it does not conflict with our regular open house program, which runs from Memorial Day weekend through Labor Day weekend, Sunday mornings. That's my report.
Thank you, Julie. Does anybody have any questions?
Yeah, she said kayak. What is she? What committee is she? Or what group is she?
Julie, can you repeat that?
Sure. I'm with the Inwood Canoe Club. We
Oh,
are,
the canoe club. Okay,
yeah,
gotcha.
we're about 200 yards south on the path from the
No,
marina.
I participated many times. Got
Lovely,
it.
lovely.
Okay.
All right. Is that it?
That's
Okay.
it.
Okay. Next, we'll go to Natalie Espino.
Hello,
Natalie, it's all yours.
friends. Muy feliz año nuevo a todos from the Hispanic Society. I just wanted to make just a couple of quick notes. Now with the 2026, with a lot of the upgrading and automation that we're doing with the Hispanic Society systems, we have launched a ticketing system. You will always have the option of paying your ticket as free, but it is a great way for us to capture it really critical data about our visitors. That is, very critical for getting funding, not only for the programs that we offer, but for the capital renovations that are ongoing. As always, we thank the community board for their endorsements that have gotten us some pretty much needed support in both of those areas. I will also remind people that members always just have the shortcut to free access, and that membership for students, artists, and our local zip codes in Harlem and Washington Heights and Inwood have a very, very affordable annual membership. So please look into it. What I am here most excited, because it's part of our public programming, is that we will start off our 2026 public programming with an event in conjunction with Master Drawing Week New York and our beautiful exhibition, Spanish Style Fashioning the Golden Age, the curator chat by Amanda Wunder, and moderator to be determined, is Fashion in the Hispanic Society's collection of illuminated manuscripts, a conversation with Amanda Wunder that will be February 6th at 10 a.m. A little breakfast treat bar will be provided and coffee, and then the talk and Q&A will follow. Then, of course, at noon, the galleries are open for you to enjoy the exhibitions at your own pace. We also recently opened an exhibition on Goya and the Age of Revolution. It's our
I'm sorry,
contribution.
Natalie, that's time.
Yeah.
That's time. I'm
okay.
sorry. Thank
Your
you.
loss.
Just send me
Your
the full
loss.
report and
Bye.
we'll put the full report in the minutes, okay?
I will get that to you, my love. Bye.
Thank you. Put the full thing in the minutes, I promise. Thanks.
Alexis, can I say
Yes.
something? Can I just give some gentle feedback to the Hispanic Society?
Is she still here? Did she sign off already?
It looks like she's here. I don't
No.
know if she.
Yeah, go ahead.
You're on mute, but it's okay. I just want to say is that just as a community member, not as my community board member hat, I took my son to go see the Goya exhibit that opened, I think, like December 11th or thereabouts. And when we went, I don't know what the policies are, but first we were told I couldn't take my purse inside the museum. I then secondarily, maybe that's the policy. I've never had that at another public museum in New York City. And then additionally, as I was standing there on the main floor, even before we got to the Goya exhibit, we were chastised 3 times by guards, even though, like, for supposedly standing too close to the exhibit. I think maybe possibly because I had a child with me, they wanted to make sure that I understood rules. But the reason why I'm sort of just making a note of it is that both me and my child began to feel almost criminalized, and we left. And this is also just sort of in contrast to, there's a museum right next door, the Museum of Arts and Letters. And the reception that we got there was markedly different, just in terms of reception as a child, viewing exhibits and so forth and so on. So just some gentle feedback. I will say is that both he and I, we left and he goes, "Mommy, they made me feel weird. I don't want to go back." And as an adult, I felt the same way. So sometimes so just that's my feedback. I hope the exhibit's great. We gonna try again. We want to see, this is a time of revolution, so we want to see Goya. So thank you for giving me this time to give that gentle feedback.
I will defer to Madam Vice Chair on whether or not I can say something briefly to you. My sincere apology on behalf of my institution. That is absolutely unacceptable that you were made to feel that way in your child. I will very happily, you can write to me at spino@hispanicsociety.org. I can give you additional information about what the policies are, but they are on our website. But whatever those policies are, and yes, we do have a very intimate gallery without those beeping alarms that notify people that they're close. But there is a way that we would like that to be communicated to our visitors, and there are ways that we would not like that communicated to our visitors. And the great thing about technology is that now I will take this clip and send it to all relevant parties, because it is incredibly, I'm very glad that you spoke up, and we will take it from there. But again, I am sorry. And anybody else, I welcome you always to contact me if you have gallery experiences that are less than ideal or when they're wonderful.
Thank you. Thank you both. Okay, who is next? You have anybody else from Parks, Friends of, or Cultural Organization? Okay.
Nobody here for Parks.
Oh, I'm sorry, just a minute. Got one, just give me a second. Okay, go ahead, Arthur Cortez.
Let me see. There we go. Hi, I'm Arthur Cortez. I'm with Juana Garcia. She's my coworker at Parks at the Marine Division. I'm not sure if you want to unmute her or it's just one
Okay,
person.
so just we'll wait for you to on the. Do you have a capital or a project update? Is that what you're talking about?
We're speaking about youth employment program that we have going on at the Marina.
Oh, okay. Go ahead. Yes, thank you.
Yeah. So I'm basically one of the people that work at Deck Marina with Juana Garcia. She's one of the other panelists here. Me and her have been working on getting programs and starting and empowering this summer youth employment program that we have. And I think Juana has a presentation she would like to, a small presentation to show, and then I could speak more to programs afterwards if you like.
Okay,
Juana?
well, Juan, you only have 2 minutes.
Okay, no problem. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Thank you for this opportunity. I'll just briefly go through over the past few years, we have expanded our youth employment programs. We have worked with the Department of Youth and Employment Program, the Department of Education. We also do an annual Dock Master Apprenticeship Program in partnership with the New York Harbor School. We work with the Children's Art and Science Workshop. We host Summer Youth Employment Program every year. We're currently working with the Work, Learn, and Growing Employment Program, and we will continue to work with these programs through the upcoming reconstruction of the marina. We look forward to do our presentation next month in more details. And if it's okay, I'm going to share just a few pictures that I have for the program. Some of the projects the participants work on at the marina. No, not this one. No. Oh, try. Arthur, are you able to share? Because it's giving me, let me see, maybe if I do this.
This started screen sharing. Okay.
I'll
I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to stop right here because this is looking like a larger presentation.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. It was just some.
It's only like 2 slides, 3
Oh,
slides.
excuse me. And I think it would be best if you came back next month and we put you on the agenda so you can give a proper programming update, you know.
Isn't this what we had specifically asked for? Like, did we not ask the Dykeman Marina, the park department to come and present?
Yeah, not for this. This is about the employment program.
She got 2 slides, she said.
Oh,
Okay, so, if you want, if you have only 2 slides, okay, I can let it, let's go, just because I don't want you to take up, we have, you know, a time limit, so go ahead.
Roger that. All right, Juana, you want to speak to this?
You sharing already?
Yeah, it's very sharing.
Okay, so this is this 2 projects well, 3 projects that are here. The participant is working with the dock removal, so they get hands-on experience. They do organization inside of the marina, so our daily operations, and they also get to do hands-on with the uptake of the park.
Yeah, as you can see, they take part in the day-to-day operations that we run at Dykeman Marina, from dock working to just normal office work and upkeep of the park itself. And this is just one of the many students that we have hosted at Dykeman Marina, and we plan to host more in the future. And that's it.
Thank you. Does anybody have any questions? Okay.
Well,
Yes,
you're
please.
going to take questions later, or?
No, you can ask, yeah, question for them, please.
Okay, I came here because I want to address the Parks Department. I live on Payson, and Payson Avenue, which you know is this very small street, had a whole like block of it or more has been taken up with barriers and what have you for this reconstruction of Inwood Hill Park's
Oh,
path.
This is
Okay,
Jan is on.
Now, I
Oh,
am,
I'm sorry, hold on a sec. Jan is on,
Yeah.
correct?
just,
Yeah.
no, I thought you
Oh.
wanted to ask them something about the Marina
no,
program.
no, no.
So when Jana Lasort comes on, you can ask her then,
So
okay?
hold on, cause I got something for you.
All right, we're ready.
We got you. Oh, I, yeah.
Yes, we just, it's just the wrong person. She's not, they're not the people. to
No, I
address.
get it. I have something for her too.
Okay, so do you have a question for Juana and Arthur regarding the Dykeman Marina program?
Not the Marina program, but Dykeman Hill. Does she handle Dykeman Hill?
No,
Park?
no, no, this is just about the Marina program.
Oh, yeah. So,
Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you both. Do you have
Yep.
anything else?
Thank you. No?
All right. Thank you so much. Okay, so are there any more reports from parks or Friends of Cultural Organization?
me.
Okay,
Hi. Liz Ritter, representing the Hebrew Tabernacle.
welcome, Ms. Ritter.
Thank you. The Hebrew Tabernacle, which is a synagogue on Fort Washington Avenue and 185th Street, has in its foyer the Armand and Estelle Gold Wing gallery. There is an art gallery there, and there's a new exhibition that's just been that's being installed and opens this Saturday after Shabbat services of the work of Alyssa Gore. So many people who have attended the Art Stroll and who are familiar with the Uptown art scene are familiar with Alyssa's work. She is an outstanding artist. She lives in Inwood. She's got, I think, 60 works ranging from like this big to, you know, large and small. Some of it more abstract, some of it more landscape oriented. The exhibition will be on for, I want to say 2 months, might be 6 weeks, not sure about that. It opens on Saturday after Shabbat services. You do not have to be Jewish to attend that, and you do not have to come to services to attend the art opening, which will services usually end around 11:30-ish. So folks are welcome to come. It's great art. It's your neighbors. What could be bad?
All right,
There might also be snacks. It being Shabbat, there will almost certainly be snacks. So,
thank you. Any questions?
yeah. When is Shabbat?
oh, Saturday?
Is Saturday?
Yeah.
Every Saturday.
Every Saturday.
Oh, it's every Saturday.
Yeah, yeah, the Sabbath. So the opening is this Saturday at whenever services end, or 11:30-ish.
Okay, thank you. Having said all that, we now move to our New York City Parks reports from Jana Lesort and Carlos Acosta. Carlos, I've been trying to, okay, you are unmuted now. So who would like to go first, Jana or Carlos? Who's going first?
Thanks so much, Alexis. Carlos can give the programming report.
All right, great.
Cool. Yeah, no, I'm sorry. I just had some background noise and I just didn't want that to bleed into the feedback that was being shared for and all that. I'm going to share some events that are upcoming, some actually that are coming up this weekend. On the 17th, Inwood Hill Park is having a forest restoration event. Volunteers with the stewardship team will, work to protect some of the forested areas in Inwood Hill Park, and volunteers will contribute to ongoing restoration work there. And that is this, the 17th at 10 a.m. In Inwood Hill Park. Also on the same day, on the 17th, there is a winter birding tour happening at 12 p.m. in Fort Tryon Park. They'll be meeting at Margaret Corbin Circle. And the Fort Tryon Park Conservancy will be having a birding tour led by our expert birder, Alexander Wang. And it's sure to be a lovely tour, and get to spot all kinds of local birds and seasonal visitors that you can spot in the park. The 17th is a very busy day because we also have another winter ID event at 1 p.m. in Inwood Hill Park, where folks can learn about how to ID all the different trees throughout the park. And that's going to be led by our urban park rangers, but that event will start at 1 p.m. and they'll be meeting at 218th Street and Indian Road near that entrance to Inwood Hill Park. Likewise, I also want to mention this one's important. It's happening on MLK Day as a volunteer day. So there's an Inwood Hill Wetland Restoration Day, restoration stewardship event that they're having. Volunteers will be working with the stewardship team to protect a wetland area in Inwood Hill Park. They'll be meeting at Gaelic Field, the big soccer field near Shirok Pok Rock in Inwood Hill Park. And they'll be meeting there at 10 a.m. to contribute to some ongoing restoration work in the wetland that's adjacent to the field there. And that will be happening on the 19th, so next week on Monday. As well as, the day prior to that, the 18th, there's a nature exploration hike that's happening in Fort Tryon Park that's being led by our urban park rangers as well. And that'll be starting at 1 p.m. and they'll be meeting at Margaret Corbin Circle in Fort Tryon Park. Yeah, and I'm sure that is pretty much it. I do have many others that are happening this month, but I put those all in the report, and they will be, I'm assuming, shared with all the other things that have been shared today.
Thank you, Jeremy. Of course, your full report will also go in the minutes as well. So thank you very much. Okay, any questions for Carlos and about programming?
Sorry.
That's quite all right. Go ahead.
I'm in Inwood Hill Park 3 times a day, at least every day for the past 30 years. And I always take some garbage out with me. I'm just wondering, do you have anything planned for sort of garbage pickup day around the tents that are set up there? Or 2 tents up there. I'm just wondering, is that something that's?
I think you're talking about the encampments, ma'am. I think you're talking about homeless encampments.
2 of them, 2 tents on Inwood Hill Park, yeah.
Right.
And there's been a lot of garbage
I can
around.
discuss. Chair, do you want me to give my report now and then take questions?
Yes, let's do that. Let's go to Jana's report and then we can take questions on all your parks concerns.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Hit it, Jana.
Thank you. Good evening, everybody. Happy New Year. I'm sorry to not be there in person. That was my goal, but I was homesick today. I want to add 2 quick events just to tag to what Carlos shared. So January 29th, I will be at Hebrew Tabernacle, Assembly, State
Never
Assembly.
heard of it.
I was thinking of you, Liz. Al Taylor, City Assemblyman, has asked me to join other city agencies for a community Q&A. So that will be January 29th, and that'll be in the report we'll share. Also, Carlos and I are part of a team called 180 Juntos, which is working on the 2 blocks of 180th from Quisqueya Playground to St. Nicholas. And on January 31st, 1 to 3 p.m., we'll have a community event day for anybody who cares about that area, wants to come by, wants to be involved. So Carlos and I will make sure those 2 events are also on the report of the programs coming in January and early February. In terms of my report to the committee, a couple key things. I want to start by just sharing that it was very exciting. The New York Times did a recent poll last week asking us New Yorkers what's most important in their view for the Mamdani administration to take on and support. And number 1, parks and libraries. So I just want to share that, and hopefully we will see some good work coming in the future. Mulch Fest, we had a wonderful Mulch Fest at Inwood Hill Park, over 900 trees. And really, we thank deeply our friends of Inwood Hill Park, 2 of which really were lead volunteers for that event. We have a Highbridge brochure coming out in the spring in Spanish and English. So we're excited to bring that to the community as we work to really develop friends and volunteer support and more awareness of the wonders of Highbridge Park and connecting that park. It is our longest park, and it is quite challenging to make sure that everybody knows all the opportunities that are there for them. Let's see, J. Hood Wright, we're sorry to share that we continue to have challenges with the bathroom, so we've had to close it again for another 2-week period due to drug activity and vandalism and threats to our staff. So we did, yes, yes, constant threats to our staff. In better news, we did meet with the J. Hood design team for the dog run, and we have an internal design first draft underway, and we'll be inviting the J. Hood Dog Run community to a meeting with the new designer who was assigned. We're excited about that. Encampments, I'm happy to answer this lady's questions, but in general, in case you're not aware, ma'am, and the committee and anyone listening, all homeless encampment removals are on pause due to the Mamdani administration.
That's not what. Okay, gotcha.
Let's see, other than that, we have some really good reports going with the construction work. We have a number of capital projects. And again, you can always go to our website and check the capital tracker. Carlos maybe can drop that in the chat. And again, to the ladies' specific concerns, I'll answer that in a moment. But we have the Inwood ball fields that are on track, looking to open in May. So we can make sure that the grass and the sod seeds well. We have the Inwood wall construction that she's talking about, which will probably go till fall. We have an Isham wall reconstruction also underway. That's going well. They did hit one issue of stability, so they have to bring in new materials. The Monsignor Kett bathrooms are open, but we're waiting for the urinal panel so that we can, once the weather gets well, keep those doors open for the safety of kids in the playground. Quisqueya Playground is on a little bit of a delay, but is looking like April opening. We have Lily Brown Playground that is underway and going well. We overcame the Con Ed issues, so that is on track for April opening over at Fort Washington Park. We are starting work on the Edgecombe Dog Run with the Larry Neal Dog Run folks at 160. Yeah, 162 in Edgecombe. So we should have some fencing up by February. We are working on also some tree issues with our forestry unit. And I think those are some of the capstone items to share. Other than that, I don't think there's anything more noteworthy or time urgent to share. I'm happy to take questions. Oh, one last thing about Mulch Fest I just want to share. Since we did finish Mulch Fest, any Christmas trees at this point, ideally, if there's a way to share this with the community, we continue to have trees dumped at Bennett Park and other parks. and our staff cannot take them now. So they just need to be dragged to the curbside so DSNY can take them.
Thank you. Yeah, I did send a note through my building Slack channel that, about Mulch Fest and told everybody that they had to be recycling Christmas trees could start this week.
Thank you, thank you. And one last note, Roger Morris, I know Catherine was on earlier. It's really exciting what's happening there, and we've been working, Historic House Trust, Morris Jamel Mansion, and Parks on just, working on behalf of the construction to make sure everything is ready to go there and safe for the community, because the park will remain open, as Catherine shared, I believe. And we just brought in some benches along the west side path. And we also are improving signage at the entry. And then once the spring comes, we'll do some painting and just ongoing improvement, and also bring in more volunteers for the sunken garden that we want to work on in the spring.
Okay, thank you very much, Jana. Any questions from the committee?
Yeah,
Daryl?
couple questions. Just out of curiosity, how many trees ended up in Bennett?
Hi, Daryl. It's so funny. It's so funny you asked that. I asked Carlos to create a form for us, because the two official sites that have historically been on Parks Mulch Fest are J. Hood Wright as a drop-off site for trees, and then Inwood as a drop-off and where trees are mulched. As you know, Bennett has historically been a drop site for trees, but it's never been official. So with Carlos's form that he created, I believe it was just under 100. I think it was 96. So we're working to hopefully, fingers crossed, work with our operations unit at the Arsenal, our headquarters, to justify why Bennett should be an official site next year.
Yeah, I was gonna ask if it does need to be an official site, and if so, does that need to be addressed at our budget meeting in October?
Thank you for the question. That's a good question. I'm not sure. I'll check in on that.
Yeah. And my other question, we didn't ask it last month. You may not know. Gorman.
Yes. So Gorman, we have a meeting coming up with Carmen de la Rosa's office in February to look at the expense funding and how we can move that forward before we can access the capital. So the expense funding we asked for, as you guys know from my reporting, the past 2.5 years, we've been working on sort of an incremental approach to Amelia Gorman, looking to see what we can do on the terrace level to make sure the terrace is available for programming and fun and enjoyment. And then the lower section of Broadway, opening that lower section below the staircase. So that expense funding, we'll be talking with the councilwoman's office about mobilizing that with some of the volunteer people who are really interested to clean out the lower half of Broadway after our syringe partner On Point makes sure that all the drug items are removed. So I'll have news for you, I hope, February, March.
Thank you. Yep.
Okay, no other questions from the committee? Okay. Questions from the public?
One, I don't know what you're talking about when you talk about Gorman, but I mean,
Gorman Park is a park on Broadway across from the Ortiz Funeral Home in the upper 180s,
Okay.
lower 190s.
Okay, got it.
It's the thing that you would walk through.
So, I have an issue that I've taken here, there, everywhere, and it's come to here now. And my issue is, I live on Payson. I've lived there for decades. And this wall project, this gate, that you were referring to, that they're gonna finish building, the path.
It's a wall.
there.
It's a wall reconstruction.
Yeah, the wall reconstruction that I'm familiar with, know it, passed it every day of my life for like 30 years. I'm really, I gotta kind of, I don't want to use inflammatory language, but this company that has been working on this and the Parks Department, I feel like the Parks Department, the city, the street, you have not looked out for us in the community. No offense. I mean, I don't know where to put the blame, but I'm here now.
It's okay.
Because I've gone everywhere else.
Sure.
The whole city block is taken up with these borders and no parking and the community is going postal over parking. And we see that these things sit there as leaf collectors. Because the contractors that work, I guess they live in Westchester or Queens or wherever they live. They don't live here. And this has been over a year, and I swear to God, they've done maybe a solid month, maybe a month and a half of work in all of this time. And all this time, that street has been nothing but a leaf collecting entity that would not happen in other neighborhoods.
Okay.
Can I
No,
I
just-
just, okay, I'm not
No,
done.
I know you're not. I'm just gonna ask, I understand you're upset. I'm just gonna ask you to take the temperature a little bit down.
I just wanna try and wrap my head around, I wanna clarify, so your issue, among other things, is that there's a construction project and part of the construction project has taken up parking in a way that is long-term and not always related to like actual work being done. So like if they were actually working
Okay,
on.
yeah, let me rephrase it.
Cause I just wanna.
You're right on.
I park my
And
car
I'm
in the
sorry
street,
if I
so
talk a
I
little
should
loud.
you.
Okay, but it's a concern.
Sure.
And it's a
No, I
problem.
respect your concern, I
that-
respect your problem, but I just
yeah,
don't
okay,
want us
but
to
I-
elevate it to.
Listen, I'm not gonna attack anyone, I just have
No,
to
no,
say
no,
it the way I
I
say it,
don't
okay?
want to attack,
And
no.
the way I'm saying it is a problem. It's been Payson Avenue, all of Payson Avenue has been taken up with these barricades. That, and parking is tight.
I think
Okay.
I think I understand your point. Is there
There's
anything?
hardly been any work done in the amount of time they've taken up
Yes,
all of this space.
yes, I know. This, by the way, this does happen across all 5 boroughs. So Parks
No,
hire.
not like
Yes,
this.
It
No,
does.
I
It does.
live,
actually.
I'm a New Yorker.
It does. So Parks hires contractors, and you are right that this spring will be a year, and it is expected to be finished in the fall. They do hit different facets in terms of why they have to delay work. Sometimes it's supplies. They're waiting on supplies. Sometimes it's a variety of answers, but I do not oversee capital. So I'm happy to could you let me finish, please, ma'am? I don't oversee capital.
That wasn't me,
So there's
Jenna,
a
that was somebody
capital-
else.
Oh, sorry, Liz. There's
Okay,
a capital team. And what I'd like to do for you is make sure that if you give me your email or I can give you mine, you can reach out to me and I will get specific answers for you related to this project. Unfortunately, though, it's not going to answer your need around parking. That happens for any project that needs access with big vehicles. They have to create a turn ratio and also areas where they can park if they need to, related to the work vehicles on the
You
job.
know, Jen, I appreciate your answer and I think that you're all right on time.
Ma'am,
And
we're
what you're saying
raising-
is really true.
We're raising.
But you know
hands.
what? It's not the way you say. They have taken up this space, not done very little. They did intense work for a month. The other 11 months, it sits there. Nobody does nothing.
I really,
So it's like,
I hear
who
you.
is overseeing this, honestly?
It
Who
is-
it feels like nobody's
Our
overseeing
capital,
this.
it's our capital unit. But to your point, it's
what
our
do you mean
wall,
it's
it's
capital
our
unit?
wall reconstruction capital unit, and I'd like to get answers to your questions.
Okay, what I will do is I'm gonna give you, we'll give you Jana's email so that you can reach out to her directly. Okay, unless Jana, you want to just say it for the record?
Sure, I can put it in the chat too.
Yeah, well, he's here
Okay,
personally.
Jana, I don't think she has a pen or paper. I can see her.
I
through
will
the-
give it to you at the end of the, I will provide you with her email. Liz Ritter, and then I have somebody on the,
So related to parking, obviously they need a wide berth to get their vehicles in and out to what is a construction site. No
Mhm.
question about that.
Mhm.
And the nature of a construction project is work does not happen every day. There are all different kinds of pauses for the reasons that you described. My
Including
question
holidays.
is it possible when they know that they're not going to be, I mean, they know what their construction schedule is, even if we don't. is it possible for when they are pausing construction for days or weeks because they're waiting for something to move the barricades so that parking can happen, and then because alternate side of the street parking regularly frees up a side of the street once a week, they can resume their construction and their barricading of parking to create a space for their vehicles when they need to. But if they've got a several week or several month gap in when they're working and they're not using that space.
Yeah, it's challenging, Liz. It does make sense. I'll add that to the wall construction contact I have. Two keynotes. My team does not oversee wall construction projects, as I'm sharing for the lady who asked the question. We do oversee and are on site for like playgrounds and parks, ball fields, etc. But wall reconstructions are a different thing. So to your point, ma'am, I just want to finish. To your point, I'm glad you raised the question because Chris, my deputy, and I have also wondered, just in terms of what's happening, week by week. And we have reached out to our contact about that, and she's given us some answers. But I want to be more specific with your questions. And Liz, I'll add that as well.
Thanks.
Yeah, I think in general, though, please know that contractors, when they have these projects with us, the staging happens once. So they stage it in terms of what they need for entry and exit, and that stays up their entire length of the job. They will not restage each week by week or when they come in 2 weeks later. So that's a challenge that I expect the answer is going to be no to.
Okay.
My only issue is,
Excuse me,
there
ma'am.
doesn't seem to be oversight. These guys,
Excuse me, ma'am.
they aren't even using the parking spaces. They're driving up into the park.
Yeah.
and they're
Okay,
parking
excuse me,
up
ma'am.
We know that.
Ma'am.
We know
Ma'am.
that. We
Ma'am,
were
excuse me, everybody stop. We have a protocol. Okay, we have a protocol, please.
No, she's right, but I'm done.
We have a protocol,
I have to,
okay? So,
still not even talking to the lady. She said.
okay, I'm sorry, ma'am, it has to stop. It has to stop. We have question now from in the chat from Tessa Carter. And we have 2 people from the public that are online that have raised their hands. Tessa Carter, hi, Jana, can you provide an update on the Dykeman Marina reconstruction project? The capital projects tracker doesn't have any updated timing and procurement is still showing not started. Thank you.
hello there, Tess. Tess, I think I'm checking to see. Tessa.
Right now.
Okay.
I'm looking to see if our Arthur or Juana are still on. No, they're not. So the marina is overseen by Nate Grove and our marina unit. I will ask about that, Tessa, and see if we can, if they have enough information to update the tracker. The last time the marina unit presented, Nate Grove, I think, Alexis, that was December, maybe?
Yes.
Yes. So Nate Grove is planning to do an update to the Parks Committee February or March based on his testimony in December. So 2 things just a note is I'll definitely check in with Nate in terms of what he knows by now from our capital unit to update the tracker. And also he will be back on a Parks Committee meeting to update the community.
Okay, thank you. Okay, I appreciate that. Now we have, because people have been waiting patiently, so I want to, okay, Hillary Russ. You had a question?
Yes, I did. Hi, thank you so much. I also had a question about what I guess is a project. I should say I've lived in Inwood for 16 years. I'm a super duper bird nerd. So I spend a lot of time mostly in Inwood Hill Park looking at birds. And we've been hearing that there is a project slated to pave a path that goes up from Shirakapak Rock to the top of the hill through what we tend to call the Clove. So I was wondering if that was true.
No.
And if so, no, it's not true. Okay.
No.
Okay, well, thank you. That is all. Thank you.
Easy. I love that. That's great. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay. Next, Darla Beach has a question. Go ahead.
Hi, yes, can you hear me?
Yes.
Hey, thank you. I have a similar question about a long construction project. I'm not sure the exact name of the park, but it's one of the parks off of the Greenway when you get onto the West Side Highway from 158th Street. The parking lot to that park has been closed for I don't know how long, a few years it feels like, because of with construction equipment and people just sort of, people double park, especially during the summer when the weather is nice. Especially at night, they're blocking really the whole entrance to the West Side Highway. And I work overnight a lot of times, and sometimes there's like cars just like jam packed on the entrance to the highway. Just want to know, one, what is that construction project? And is there a way to make a safer space for public parking? I get that they need to stage. I heard a lot of that earlier, but there just seems to be a better way, especially given the length of time that this space has been taken up.
Hi, Dar. I think you're talking about Fort Washington Park. And my team shares Fort Washington with District 14, run by my colleague, John Harold. So I'm actually on our capital tracker now to see, I think this is what I've heard about in his part of the park. So if you, just so you know, here in District 12, in Community Board 12, Fort Washington, our team at Northern Manhattan Parks, we oversee Fort Washington really 155 up, but east of the tracks, east of the Amtrak tracks. So I believe you're talking about something I have heard wind of that is below that area in Fort Washington Park. If you want to, again, I'll put my email in the chat. And if you want to email me, I can connect you with John Harold and he can give you what he knows related to your questions.
Thank you. Now I know, Daryl, you had a question.
Yeah, it was just going back to that issue about the lady brought up. I know what you said about the staging issue, that they only do it once. But now that here we are in the middle of January, do they usually stop these things during winter? And if so, when do you know the schedule when they're resuming work?
That's what I'm going to ask Kim, who's our contact internally, Daryl. Absolutely. There was a holiday, period of not doing much, but to the lady's point, one of the reasons that I reached out about the wall is because they were parking up in the park. And when we saw the construction set up, we were like, okay, well, we understand they have to park their vehicles. So that set aside barrier entry is supposed to be for their vehicles and or big vehicle entry for, pouring and taking out loads of dirt, etc. So we will find out.
Yeah, I'm thinking if it's going to be at least a couple months until they resume, it would be nice if they could consider, removing it temporarily.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you very much, everybody. Do we have any other questions? See, okay, yes, Crystal can.
Is there any way when they take long pauses, I don't know, I guess over 2 to 5 days, that they can alert the community so that they know? So even if the stage, last resort, that the stage has to stay away, maybe they can give a special pass so that they can still park even though it's close to the street. They'll get a pass for those people taking those spots.
Janet, did you hear that question?
I will pass that along. That would be unusual. I think it's a good question.
Right, thank you. So, having said all that, thank you everybody for your input and questions. We are going to go and discuss the Dolphin Park resolution that our chair, Luana Ferrara, went to the Traffic and Transportation Committee and discussed this. And so I'm going to hand it over to Leo Jimenez, who is the chair of Traffic and Transportation and also our first vice chair. Leo,
Thank
take
you,
it
Alexis.
away.
Thank you, Alexis, and good evening, everyone. Alexis, you guys are doing amazing. Keep it up. I know it's a lot to keep keep on top of you, but we appreciate your advocacy. So yes, Luana, she came to our committee last week to start get some dialogue about Dolphin Park. We voted on a resolution, it passed unanimously, to engage with Port Authority and all other parties necessary to reopen this soon. Some update after that. We actually met with, spoke briefly through Microsoft Teams with Port Authority on Monday. They gave us some good news. So they're working to get a resource partner or maintenance partner, I'm sorry, to service the park. And they're looking to open in the spring. So it's actually a lot sooner than we think. I spoke to Luana about this, and we still think we should push forward the resolution. I think it's more of an accountability piece to it, just to hold Port Authority to their commitment, as it's been closed for over 5-6 years now. So the resolution, I don't have it with me at the moment.
We have it.
Okay, perfect. I just had, and I'm not sure if Alexis got it, 2 friendly amendments from our committee.
No, I did not get those.
All right, I'm gonna forward you the email, but I'll also read them in case you guys want to discuss or not accept it.
Do you want me to read the resolution and then you can add the friendly amendment?
Yes. Yes.
I don't know. Should we? I don't know.
Everybody has.
Okay, well, not everybody on Zoom. All right, then just go ahead, dear. Where were the friendly amendments? Just
Yeah.
tell me, you can email them to me, but just give me which part, so I just know where to.
Okay. So here they are. There's a whereas. Don't remember where, but I think it's after the second or third whereas. But this one says, whereas Dolphin Park was previously closed in 2019 for renovations to the GWB's, or the George Washington Bridge Northwalk, and although the work was completed in 2023, the Port Authority has not identified a partner necessary to reopen and sustain this public space. And I can
All right.
forward you that as well.
Yes, just forward that, and then I'll forward that, so it can be reflected in the resolution and in the minutes.
Was there anything?
Oh, you said you had another one?
Yeah, so there be it resolved.
Oh, okay.
That's, I guess, be it further resolved. That consistent with recent conversations with the Port Authority, CB12 encourages the Port Authority to continue coordinating with local elected officials to identify and formalize a qualified community-based partner supported by the Port Authority. That's very important to put it there because, as mentioned in the past, it's a lot of work and money, and they'll need the resources from Port Authority. With the capacity to operate and maintain Dolphin Park so the park may reopen by spring 2026, consistent with the Port Authority's commitment. And that's, again, going back to the accountability piece, that we want to make sure that Port Authority sticks to the word.
Thank you very much, Leo. Do you have any other information that you want to share before I take questions on this?
No, that's pretty much it.
Thank you, Leo. I appreciate all your hard work on this and for teaming up with Luana to handle this, because I know this has been a big concern. And I also know that Liz Ritter has a question. So here we go, Liz.
Well, it's sort of a combination of questions, statements, suggestions. I've been involved with Dolphin Park since pretty much it began in the early 90s. And I think that I love this resolution. I love that it speaks to the accountability and really the positive power of community working with each other, with government, with agencies for positive things to happen. So I like that. I think some of it's maybe a little bit redundant, some of the aspects, but I think some of the things that are missing from the resolution are things like, whereas the park was created in, I forget the exact date, I want to say like 1995, but I could be wrong, by the Port Authority of New York and New Jersey from right-of-way land adjacent to the bridge. I think there should be a whereas that talks about the 181st Street Beautification Project and Jean Lee Poggi and the way that they were the driving force behind dragging the Port Authority kicking and screaming, although I wouldn't put it that way in a reso, to create this wonderful gem, and that they were the active stewards for a couple of decades, providing not only stewardship of the park in terms of cleanup, unlocking it, and locking it, but also providing youth stipends to do programming for the children. I think it's important for the reso to say someplace, it talks about the space providing recreational, environmental, and social benefits, and that it affects, you know, local families, including seniors and youth. It's really, it was not a senior park. It was very specifically a small children's park. So I think language that speaks to it being essentially a toddler and small children park would be appropriate. I have some of this written down. I only just got this reso like a half an hour before I came to the meeting, so I don't have like fully vetted proper language for all of this. But I think I think that those points should be raised and included in the whereases. I hope that you don't think this is adding too much on, but I would love to have a whereas that really lauds Jean Lee's life's work of creating this park, and have an additional be it resolved that requests that the Port Authority rename the park the Jean Lee Poggi Park or Playground, or that it be renamed after her. I'm not going to die on that hill. It's just a suggestion. If y'all think that's too much to pile on, I'm happy to put it to the side, but yeah,
I think
and
for
that's sort
now,
of, that's what I got.
yeah, I think for now, we gotta just concentrate on getting this thing back open.
Okay, but I do think it's appropriate, even if we're not asking them to do that, I think it's appropriate to have a whereas in there that does reflect her contribution, because then at some future point, we can point to this and say, see, it was in that resolution that we passed back in 2026.
Okay. Leah, do you have any questions or comments on that before I go to Daryl's question?
No, I think I agree with Liz. We should definitely recognize Jean Lee Poggi for her work and effort to advocating and supporting that park for all those years. So I wouldn't be opposed to adding a be resolved if Luana's open to it, recognizing her achievements and then requesting or asking that the Port Authority consider naming the park in her honor, but it's up to the committee, of course.
Okay. Thank you, dear. Daryl?
I would just say about the renaming that maybe, I think there's hopefully a broader discussion of renaming other parks too in the region, you know, for other people. So maybe, you know,
Yeah.
saving it for that.
Yes, except that this is the only park that's not a Parks Department park.
Okay.
And so that conversation, which we started back in 2020, relates specifically to the Parks Department. This is a little bit of a weird outlier because it's the Port Authority.
I definitely think it's a good whereas for sure. The other thing, and I'm not sure if I heard correctly, I just want to make sure I did. The whereas, I would caution against a whereas for a specific use. You weren't saying that there should be a specific use for children or.
No.
You know, because I know there's some in the community that may also want a dog park in that area. So like, I think we should leave it open. So whatever the community decides the use should be, is that I don't.
Yeah, that's
sear
that's
the
fine.
use.
But I do think it's appropriate to talk about how it was used and to phrase it in a way that does not necessarily guide people into, and therefore this is how it must be used again. But I think it's always helpful to have a written record that talks about what it was, how it came to be, whatever it became. Because then there's some kind of historical record. You know, the board is not 15 years from now when all of the people in this room are not necessarily in this room again. And some new batch of people is going like, well, why does this look the way it does? Part of what we do when we do our resos is we create that record so that anybody who doesn't have, you know, a 40-year history of living on Payson Avenue, or a, you know, however many year history of whatever they have a history of, we have a written record that someone can just look at it and be like, aha, I get it now. And I mean, if you're okay conceptually with what I've outlined, I can come up with some like proper wording, unless you want me to go find a quiet space and like actually write it out now.
No, I think,
Okay.
I can wait.
I'm good for it, I promise.
I know who you are, and I know where to find you.
Also true.
So do we feel confident that we should vote on this, or should we wait
Oh,
until next month when we have?
Sorry, can I just ask Leo one clarifying question?
Please do.
Just to make sure, I mean, I hope this is the case. It passed unanimously in committee?
He did say.
Okay.
Okay.
No, I mean, this is timely, and if people, so the whereases that I'm gonna add are a whereas talking about like the land that the Port Authority used to make this park, a whereas talking about the 181st Street beautification project and Jean Lee's involvement and advocacy. Whereas describing sort of what that park looked like, but worded in a way that doesn't necessarily indicate that that's what it has to look like again. And some actual dates, like when it opened, when it closed, when the BP stopped being involved, that kind of thing, because I think that's just kind of a useful timeline. Do we want a whereas that specifically calls out the elected officials whose advocacy with the Port Authority helped keep this going? Because then council member, now Senator Jackson was always very supportive of this park, and now Congressman and then Senator Espaillat was very helpful. I think Jean Lee was one of the only people Adriano was kind of, I don't want to say afraid of, but whenever Jean Lee called and, you know, well, we need fill in the blank for the park, he'd be like, just whatever she wants, make sure she gets whatever she wants. So, you know, we had elected officials who were very helpful in making sure that this beautiful playground happened and got maintained. And I feel like if we're really publicly complimentary to them, they might see their way to a little more of that, if you know what I'm saying.
I think I do. Leo, thoughts, questions, comments, concerns?
Yeah, listen, whatever the committee feels right pushing out, just let's be considerate that we don't want to make it too long.
Right.
It loses the purpose, but I'm positive that Liz will word it very nicely to keep it short and concise. So
I'll do my best.
All right, thank you.
All right,
And consensus on renaming included, save it for later, Nishkafela.
I would say that for later.
I want to say that I think we should attempt it. It sets a precedent, especially if we have strong advocates in our community. Maybe naming a street is not the only way to recognize them. So let's add it. Something we can try to hold or try to request from Port Authority as talks continue. Might not be a guarantee, but I know that in my meeting on Monday, they mentioned Julie Pogge as well. So wouldn't be bad, I think, to put it out there.
Are there folks like, I don't know, from her building or block associations and whatnot that could also speak to that, or? I don't know if she was part of any organized.
Yeah, she was
committee.
the head of the 181st Street beautification project, so I imagine there are people from the BP, which kind of unfortunately sort of died with her. I imagine they would speak to that. Okay.
All right, do we have any questions? Yeah, I know you,
Yeah, just, it's a question, but not really a question, but maybe a question and a comment. First, I want to for both of these committees, transportation, parks, it's everybody on the board for making this a priority. I know parks are so important. This little nugget is such a complicated like part to deal with. So I appreciate the work that's been happening. And I also wanted to say, you know, thank you for the update on the meeting on Monday. I will say, you know, that the resolution, it sounds it's gonna have this sort of you know, make sure that it gets done part, because we've sort of been in that phase before where they had identified a community partner and then that community partnership fizzled, and then the whole sort of Port Authority activity also fizzled. So let's try to keep on top of that and maybe get sort of regular updates. I think that would be really helpful. So thank you very much.
All right, thank you. So shall we vote?
Can I just say thank you as well?
Yeah,
for
because, yeah,
noting it?
no, really, you really helped push this along. So yes, thank you for that.
Can I just say one last little thing? I'm gonna be interviewing Robert Jackson, and he will be on our Uptown Voices show, which publishes on Tuesday, and we'll be talking about this issue. Okay,
cool. Great. Yes, push it. Thank you. Okay, let's go around. We're gonna vote on this?
Yeah.
Okay,
Do we have doing?
what?
We're doing.
I'm gonna do a, yeah.
Okay, where's the?
Thank you.
And I gave her Janice.
All right, you have Jana's number now?
I gave her.
You gave her her email?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I have it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Wait, Alexa, are you doing it?
You go into it?
Yeah, oh, yeah, I forgot.
You know, I'm not assistant secretary anymore.
I know, I forgot about that. I'm like, wait, aren't you gonna
I'm
do that
used
for
to
me?
doing that.
I know. Okay, so, we're gonna do, okay, Alexis Marnell, me, I vote yes. Daryl Cothran,
Yes.
this person is not here right now. John Francis is not here. Jody Herson,
Yes.
Tracy McNeil,
Yes.
thank you. Do you have it? My pen?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, Eton?
Yes.
Steinbaum, yes. Crystal Woodley?
Yes.
Okay, and we know that Leo is a yes. Okay, having said that, this resolution is passed unanimously.
Don't I get to vote?
Oh, I'm sorry, dear. Ms. Ritter?
Absolutely not, no.
Yeah.
Yes, and I did just get a text from Natalie with the wording from the proc
Yes.
that Gail Brewer did for Jean Lee in 2019, and it has some of the dates and relevant information, so thank you for that.
Okay, Noemi, who is our member of our board?
Hi, co-chair for traffic and transportation here, also supporting this this resolution. So thank you, Leo, for leading, and here we are supporting our Parks Department as well.
Yes, thank you both to Leo and Noemi. Thank you. It was a lot of work. I had nothing to do with it. So thank you. All right, now we are going to go to, that's all resolved. We're going to go to old business. Next month, we will pick back up the Sally Fisher naming. I'll provide updates and hopefully we'll have a letter, the letters of recommendation from Manhattan Borough President and Carmen De La Rosa.
Great. What are we naming after?
Chris, who had started, I believe if he's still on, he had suggested another scenario. Let's see if he's still on here. Which was really lovely. Chris, would you mind speaking? Yeah.
Here.
Okay, great. Thank you, dear.
Yeah, after the great meeting and talking with everyone and doing some further research and talking with Jana and others, I thought about expanding the naming beyond just the gardens, and expanding the naming to the whole entrance plaza at Seaman and Isham.
Love that.
And it would be inclusive of the gardens, because really she really touched that whole area. And that was like a center of a lot of her organizing and work. And I think it would also pay homage to Sally in a bigger way. And I think it would be a bigger honor than just the gardens, and I think it would be more fitting.
She was a steward for the whole park.
For the
So-
whole park, yeah.
So to include the entrance to the whole park feels much grander, and it also captures the area in which the trees planted for her son and for her, that last one shortly before she died, it captures that as well. So that just feels really beautiful, and I'm gonna try to not cry.
Okay. Does anybody have any new business? No? Okay, announcements. I will just say, we have a protocol in these meetings. I'm putting this on the record. Yelling, aggression, not raising hand is completely out of order and it's not acceptable. We are all volunteers here. Everybody deserves respect, as do the people who work for parks and other organizations. So going forward, just everybody keep that in mind. I'm putting on my secretary hat. From now on, if you are going to be on Zoom, which I know Tracy already does, so this is not directed at you, Tracy, don't worry. Like Tracy's very good about every time she knows she has to be on Zoom, she sends an email, she cites the bylaws. Put a thumbs up, Miles, how dare you? So having said that, anytime anybody has to be on Zoom for any reason, please notify us so we can have it written down that you and will not be counted as an absence, okay? Timeliness is important. If you cannot make your committee meeting at 6:30 or 7, then that's something we'll have to talk about. Has to everybody tries to be here on time. I know everybody's got stuff going on, but let's all respect each other's time and energy.
Point of clarification.
Yes.
When you say us, you mean, you're talking about committee chair, secretary, and Paula in the office, or who are we?
Oh, yes, I'm sorry. Thank you.
Speaking of specific.
Thank you for saying that. Thank you for keeping me on task.
Yeah.
See, this is what, but now I'm gonna have less, okay. But he brings me snacks, by the way. I'm just letting you know, he
Yes.
keeps me fed.
Was I or was I not the queen of homemade baked goods?
It's
I mean, come on.
So, yeah, so you should,
Who's responsible for this bowl of deliciousness?
Paula, you should email the office, Paula, your committee chair, Anthony Viola, and see me as secretary. That's across the board for any committee.
Yeah.
Okay. Anybody have anything else?
No.
Okay, motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second,
Okay,
or 8 o'clock. Wow.
thank you and good night.